Episode 31.
Hey everybody, this is Sherman here, and welcome to Into the 99, where we have 99 cards, because Commander's number 1! And before, I already introduced myself, because I'm an idiot, so... Go ahead.
I'm one of your other hosts, Hope.
I'm Daniel.
And I'm Brian.
I'm a little tired. Anyways, we're going to talk about more Ikoria spoilers, because last week, we talked about mechanics and everything. We talked about 5 of the commanders, plus a little bit more.
Yeah, just the face commanders and kind of some of the early spoilers.
Yeah, we barely were able to even touch on it because we got so hype about the new mechanics and the commanders.
It's funny because I looked at it like, how long was that recording session? That's probably like an hour or so, or maybe 40 minutes. Looking at it like an hour and a half. Holy smokes.
Lots of new, good, exciting ones have come out. There's a few, maybe if we have some time, we'll get into it. We're just going to go into some of the rares and mythics because this set just has so much to talk about. I'm sure everyone's been seeing these spoilers, and if they haven't, you're missing out.
There's so many bombshells, and I'm one of the ones missing out.
It's very exciting.
Okay.
Oh, to that end, before we get into it, I think one thing that we mentioned last week was that we didn't think that the commander decks were going to come with soul rings.
Daniel was wrong.
Holy, you get a Signet, an Arcane Signet, and a soul ring.
But you know what I thought was weird? Looking at the deck list.
What?
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
doggy.
But looking at the deck list, it looks like you don't get the corresponding clan mana rock for 3 with it.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
The
That's
crystal,
only...
that seems like it would have been good, but I guess
Yeah, that's only in the set. But
Yeah.
it's good to know that, they're in the set.
Yeah, they're
So
still
if-
available.
if
There's
you-
cards that you can upgrade your deck with.
Already. Wow.
Are there ever?
But I thought that they'd put in the rocks and not the soul ring. But yeah, you get a soul ring, a signet, and then you can take the rock from the set.
Really quickly as well, touching on before we get into it, the commander decks do look like the strongest commander decks that have been printed.
I think so.
Since a long time. Plus, they have a decent amount of reprints that are actually good reprints too. Let's not ignore that, because like in the past commander sets, they did some reprints and just like wah wah.
Well, Locust God is in it. Like Locust God is a good commander on its own. It's a reprint in the decks.
Yeah,
I play
Brian.
Locust God. So
What?
yeah. Locust
Just like
God
that.
is in one of the decks, along with like
Ridiculousness.
the reprint value alone, for these is worth it.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
It's insane. Okay.
Pretty unreal.
Well, yeah, there's just awesome cards. The partner mechanics, we started touching on it a little bit, but they've released more of them. They are wicked.
Yeah.
They're really good.
They're the flying shark.
My mind's blown for.
There's also just amazing artwork in it. There's two of the
Partner
commanders.
commanders,
Yeah. I'm going to, once playmats are available of them, buy them both to have them sit side by side as like the new desk part.
Yeah, they're pretty dope.
So nice.
By one of our favorite artists also, which is really exciting. So.
Oh man. Okay. So
let's
get into this.
Hit it.
We talked about this first one.
Yeah, we already talked about Brokos.
Brokos we talked about.
I don't think we talked about Cheville.
Cheville, being up monsters. Let's talk about him anyways. So black and green.
So you know I love it.
Human Rogue is a 1/3 Death Touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no permanents with bounty counters on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker, which is cool.
Yep.
An opponent controls. I like the fact that you put it on a planeswalker as well.
Yep.
Here, okay? And it has a second ability. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. So it's just like Mathis from the Other Commander set for
Yeah, it's a neat returning mechanic as well, and it also incentivizes you to kill things.
yeah.
But it's also nice because this is obviously in the one that splashes white.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it's nice to have the potential life
That's
gain.
the human deck is green white, or is it red white?
For which one?
The human deck's Mardu, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So this one is it's got to be the
Oh, this is the counter one that puts
Which is dope because like I said, with all the life gain potential in this, you could make a life gain Orzhov deck, but you get to splash green, oof.
I don't know if we talked about this one last time, Fiend Artisan.
No, we didn't.
We didn't?
No, we did not.
Another super strong Golgari card, which is amazing. It is there's many cards in green that are considered super good. Birthing Pod's one of them. This functions really basically like a birthing pod. So Fiend Artisan is hybrid mana symbols, which again, I love the return of these hybrid mana symbols. Hybrid Golgari, so 2 of either black or green, not red and Golgari. For a nightmare creature, at least it's not legendary because,
It would be, yeah.
just a normal creature, it gets 1/1 for each creature card in your graveyard. We have talked about Golgari and how strong that is. It's an amazing mechanic.
Love
it
that.
has X and a
Hybrid
tap,
Golgari.
so either green or black. Sack another creature, search your library for a creature with CMC X or less, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle, activate this ability only anytime you could a sorcery.
I like this one. Just
Put it
'cause
onto
it's less.
the battlefield.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, it doesn't. So
fantastic.
it doesn't make you play the Yisan game or anything like that. You
Yeah.
just pay for. You want 7 mana to go get that Verdant Force. You're going to go get the Verdant Force.
And it doesn't enter tapped. It doesn't, like, there's just, you can just do whatever.
Oh, it just functions so well. But the obviously in black, like this is going to go in. Oh, like this has to go in Muldrotha for sure. Because the ability to sack a creature, get it back.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Marin, the same thing.
Yeah. I'm
only-
slotting this into my Marin deck.
Not only a
immediately.
sacrifice outlet, but like a creature tutor to the battlefield.
Yeah.
Amazing card.
Well, like you mentioned last episode, that this set just has so much Golgari goodness.
Yeah, this,
Yeah.
they
It's
just
crazy.
wanted to buff Golgari
so
for
much
some
GG
reason.
in here.
I like the design on this one just because they chose to go with less. So you can't take something like Ornithopter or a token and sacrifice it and be like, I'm going to look for something that's less than 0 because you can't search for
Yeah.
anything that's less than 0.
The search is
Hey.
less than the X,
Yeah.
not than the creature.
So you just sacrifice a creature.
No, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X
But-
or
but you're
never
paying-
mind.
yeah.
So you
Pay
can
X.
you can sack anything. So you can sack the Ornithopter to go get your Crater Hoof.
Yeah.
And then play it again.
Yeah.
I am wrong.
Yeah, that's
It's-
why this is so strong.
Okay,
strong.
yeah, never mind. This is really, really crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Now I'm really glad I pre-ordered a booster box.
Right? Same.
I have no money, but I saw the set and I'm just like, I need a get test.
Literally us. I'm just like, it's worth it. I got that.
The amount of human support in this is just overwhelming too.
This I'm making one.
Well, this
Like
one.
human
I
deck?
don't care.
Well, this is another human lord, like not even the
Oh, yeah,
not even
Kudro?
the one that you get it. And I
Yeah.
don't know if it's again. I haven't looked super thoroughly through the commander decks. I've seen the cards in them, and I bought them. I don't need to know what's in them
Yeah.
Well,
well-
I'm going to be ripping my group hug deck apart.
for sure.
I'm going to be making a 5-color
5-color
Kenrith
human? That would be cool. I like
Ooh,
that.
fun.
General Kudro of Dranith. It is 1 and Orzhov. Other humans you control get 1/1, so another human lord. Awesome.
Great.
It's a soldier, so again, more human soldier support.
Soldier synergy.
Awesome. For once, not in Boros, which is cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of black.
Whenever Kudro, Dranith, or another human enters the battlefield under your control, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. Exceptionally strong card.
Very, very
super,
good.
super
Very
good
good.
in any deck that is going to run any humans like that. Then it has pay 2, sack 2 humans, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Built-in removal and graveyard exile is super strong.
Yeah.
I could see this being just a solid card to slot in those colors to deal with pesky, like, graveyard shenanigan kind of decks.
Yeah,
Which
totally.
is a majority of decks.
Yeah,
A lot of decks, yeah.
like to run that. We talked about Aluna last week.
Yeah.
This is one of the recent spoilers. I'll let you take this one, Sherman.
Oh,
Kinnan?
Kinnan, Bounder Prodigy. It's going to be a green and a blue. Yeah, baby.
New Simic Commander alert.
Yeah. Human Druid for a 2/2. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produces, which is stupid.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
already good.
It's so strong, okay? And then it has for a 5 green and a blue, okay, no tap, so you can do this like multiple times if you really wanted to. Look at the
I
top
do want
5
to.
cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This card
Well, this
is insane.
I think this is actually straight out CEDH Commander level. I
can see that.
Yep,
I
I
can see
believe it's so easy to generate infinite mana, and basically you're trying to do something similar with like Thrasios and Tymna combo. You want the Thrasios. Yeah, it's Thrasios.
Yeah,
I don't know what
Let's
that
describe.
is.
It lets you scry. So a lot of people they get their mana sync going, and this is just going to be the same with creatures. You 7 mana creatures into the field. It's also doubling up your creature's ability to get extra mana. So your birds taps for 2, your Llanowar taps for 2. Basalt Monolith taps for like you're enabling your infinite combos.
Yeah, like think of Basalt Monolith already, okay? That produces like 3, and you have to pay 3 to untap it. So now instead you're producing 4,
Yep.
and then you pay 3 to untap it, then you tap it again for another 4. So you keep that one card is infinite mana.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how broken this is already. This is how already this is like a CD.
I guess it is 3 mana and 3 on tap.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Basalt,
So it
you're
makes
already
one
infinite.
every time, yeah.
And if you have something, a gemstone array, anything that can filter your mana through the colors, just a gemstone array alone will full filter this. Anything that you can filter through, you get infinite mana.
Just going to point out again, it's another human.
It is.
Yeah.
There's just so
And
many
a
good ones.
druid.
But it is a druid. I do think that this is going to be a new CDH commander for sure.
Yeah,
I
for
can
sure.
see it being fun. But this is a very, very easy dump your entire deck into play. You need to run something similar to. Basically, you're gonna want cards that tutor things when they enter. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna want your artifact tutors.
Trinket Mage.
Yes, those are the
like
ones. Thank you. The ones that go and fetch those artifacts for you, and then you're basically like
You're
you
laughing.
said, you're getting
Yeah.
Basalt or Grim Monolith or something like that, and just going off with them.
Well-
This is a cool card. A mana dump in a commander's super good, and it just doubles it up. All those mana dorks become just exceptionally powerful. If Land of War tapped for 2 mana, it would be a $10 card.
Yeah. It like this is definitely crazy. Like the fact that you can just have the commander out and just one card create infinite mana by itself basically is really, really broken.
Yep.
In my opinion. Like
You still at least need some colored mana for his ability. So
yeah, but that's easy.
But that's exactly it. The ability to filter through. I'm pretty sure there's lots of cards that have. It's one of the green cards, like Sky Shroud Ranger, where it lets you pay 1 mana to filter through into other
There's
colors.
so many. Like even
Yeah.
for like for colorless, like you have like a scarecrow like from Throne of Eldraine. You pay 2, it gives you 1. You know, it's like you don't have to tap it. There's another one like Pristine something from Dominaria. Same
Yep.
deal. Okay, there's so many cards like that. It doesn't matter.
Well, this is basically straight out going to be just a better version, in my opinion, of Momir Vig. Momir Vig is the whole point is to try and get your elves
Yes.
out and running and everything. This just lets you generate infinite mana and skip the tutoring phase of it, where you just continuously go through your deck, get all of your creatures out.
Yeah.
If you have the other thing is the
Non-human creatures.
the other thing as well is you're going to be able
Jellyfish
to.
tribal.
Long story short, like the easiest path to victory with this is going to be running anything that can generate you your infinite mana. Kefnet as a draw engine is a very, very simple draw engine.
Yeah.
Once you're there, all you're going to do is just pump all of your mana into your creatures on deck, your Thrass's Oracle or your Labman are going to hit the deck, and then you're going to be able to just full draw out.
Draw yourself. Yeah.
Draw all your counterspells. Great CDH commander already alone. Like I may build a CDH mock-up deck of it and start playtesting it because it's just that good.
Yeah.
You do lose out a little bit of the partner colors. However, I think you have the ability to outrace the Thrasios Timna. There's also the Flash Hulk colors. Like let's be real about this. It is those colors.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, all right, we can talk about this all day. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we talked last week how we were going to talk about this other one, but we didn't.
Yeah, the new Planeswalker.
Yeah, Luca. He was first spoiled in the trailer, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's Luca Coppercoat Outcast. Yeah, it was very cool in the trailer. He's got a 6 saber-tooth tiger. Like, what more do you want? So he is 3 and 2 red, and he comes in at 5 loyalty. So his +1 is exile the top 3 cards of your library. Creature cards exiled this way gain. You may cast this card from exile as long as you control a Luca Planeswalker.
Awesome card.
Which is nice because it means that you don't have to do it immediately if you can't.
Well, even if he dies and comes back, you can
still do it because it was exiled by him, and then
Well, what's interesting, it says a Luca Planeswalker, so
which
if they
makes
do
me
come out
consider
with
they're gonna make more.
They're for sure going to
And the Planeswalker decks, I assume.
Yeah, well, not
probably.
even. There is no more Planeswalker decks. The Commanders
Oh, they're
replace
not-
those.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
That's
they're
right.
not
That's
doing
right.
But that being said, the whole point of Ikoria was to introduce A, new mechanics, B, take a little bit of a break from the story, but C, get
Give us
some
new
new
characters.
Planeswalkers to get into it. So we're going to see in this set And also likely in the Zendikar, we're going to see a new Planeswalker or two.
Yeah.
And they're going to be... They seem to be very interested in putting into Vivian. Garrick is kind of... He's free of the curse.
Yeah.
Garrick's the hunter. Liliana... Or not Liliana. Vivian's a hunter. And this Luca guy is also, like... He's very, very, like, into the beasts. Obviously, like, he's got his friend. Like, the whole point of his lore is that he's a human who's supposed to kill the beasts, but...
Then he empathized with the beast.
Exactly. So,
He's He-Man.
yeah,
Yes.
we're going to see more of him for sure, and we're going to see more of Vivian as well. And
yeah.
Vivian's just a great planeswalker
Yeah.
overall.
They introduced her. She's strong. She's cool. She's kind of... She's a bad bee. We love her.
Back to this bad boy. though.
Anyways, his -2, exile target creature you control, and then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card with a higher CMC. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. And I don't know how many times we have to say it, but you should always judge a planeswalker by its minus ability.
Yep, not its alt. And that is a strong minus.
So it does say exile a creature. So would then you be able to cast it again since it is exiled by him?
No, because it doesn't gain. You may cast this creature.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But if you
like-
sacrifice like Squeed and Immortal.
That's true.
Then you filter through to the next 2 cost or whatever. Like it's very, very strong.
Very dope. And then his alt, his -7, is each creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each opponent.
So the number one thing, obviously, is with the new Theros. What's the word I'm looking for? The new Theros Perforos, where he sneak attacks your creatures in. This is an amazing answer to that trigger because those cards are going to get sacked at the end. So you dump your dragon in or whatever, you pay 2 to exile it and go to the next one for free. Awesome card.
Yeah.
Very, very cool
Very
card.
comboable.
Yeah. Luminous Broodmoth we did talk about.
Yeah,
Amazing.
so let's go on to Narset.
Oh yeah, the new Narset.
yeah, new Narset.
Awesome.
Everybody should also, like, if you have a second, just, like, look up the comic artwork for the new Narset.
It's so
it is
good.
dope. It gives
So
me,
good.
like I was saying earlier, it gives me heavy, like, Avatar Last Airbender vibes. It also gives me heavy, like, probably because we're dating this episode and this is coming out right when the Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out. But it's giving me really heavy, like, Tifa vibes. I'm into it. It's dope.
In any deck that is going to be spell slinging in these colors, there's no reason to not run this.
Yeah.
This is an auto include. It has a +1, so it's
for the mana.
1 Injexi for a 4 mana or 4 loyalty starting planeswalker. Its 1 is you gain 2 life and you add. It has white, so obviously it had to get some low life gain in there. But pay blue, red. You add blue, red, or white to your mana pool. Spend it only for non-creature spells. That's already great. It's mana production alone and ramping in colors that aren't the greatest at ramping. This is an awesome card.
Yep.
Then it's -2, again, what we judge on. Draw a card, then you can discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, it deals damage to the CMC to target creature or planeswalker.
Which is
So it
crazy.
can, in a way, protect itself a little bit. And then its -6 is just absolutely silly because you only need to get it up 2 more to do it. You get an emblem with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this emblem deals 2 damage to any target.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
The fact that
nice.
it's an emblem.
That's,
it's
real
also good to note that, like, you only have to get 3 turns off 2 pluses on both of these
Yep.
planeswalkers.
Well, this is just
Fast.
this is just fuel for one of my new CDH decks. Spoiler alert! Is Elisha of the Infinite, where I try and storm off artifacts to get to Aetherflux because Aetherflux is broken.
Yes,
and,
it is.
So yeah, the whole point of it is that, and this is just that emblem alone on that deck would be bonkers.
Really
like I don't know
valuable.
how often I'd be able to actually get the emblem off, but I could probably. I'm in colors that have some easy proliferate.
Yep.
Could be very worth.
I 100% think that you could get that off as soon as you, like, on the same turn that you cast her easily.
Oh, there would be a lot of ways to easily get
Every
it going.
time you cast a spell, you proliferate. That's it. That's how you do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would love to see some destroy emblems.
Yes.
Yeah,
Emblem destruction is something that it needs to come
Because
down the
emblems
pipes.
are really strong. So
They're
like-
Yeah, but-
super strong and they're uninteractable.
But the thing is, so that new Chandra that came out a couple sets ago that puts an emblem for her plus.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
plus each player gets
Yeah.
an emblem where it deals
Yeah,
damage.
so that's say 3 people in my 4-person pod that are getting emblems on them, and that's every time I tick her up, that's getting an emblem. So I'm like, there should be a way to remove that.
See,
Yep.
the way I look
Well,
at
that's
it,
player removal.
the way I look at it is that if they put
Player
in the
removal
emblem-
doesn't work for
No,
that.
yeah,
No,
that's true. I just
if you put in the emblem removal, it should be in like a commander set, sort of like what we're talking about right now. You know, like specifically in like commander precons, whatever. Because like in like standard,
Yeah, that is an issue because you can't print it in standard. It's pretty hard to bring into standard because then that really cripples Planeswalkers.
It doesn't really do much in like a 1v1 either. Like you have to be very, very controlling. You have to be like
it should be 4. It should be 4
if he's gonna be playing every spell it deals 2 damage, I don't really want that emblem out.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We talked about Nithori.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep
obviously
going.
though, great artwork, just beautiful. I'm gonna really break my bank trying to get this this showcase frame version.
Rieli, the Everwise, 1 blue-red. I love this already.
A new human wizard commander.
Human
which is
wizard,
pretty cool.
yeah, for a 0/3, whoop-de-doo. But he gets a +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Cha-ching!
So number 1, this is just Runechanter Pikeable for sure.
Yeah. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards, which is so broken.
Well, it's such a cool card because like usually you're punished for the red rummage effects.
Yeah.
Right? With your Faithless Looting, your anything like that, Cathartic Reunion. But this just makes those cards significantly better. Like this really adds a lot of cool draw mechanic in a way that you wouldn't normally be able to play it.
I have to say that blue-red doesn't need any more draw mechanic though.
But this isn't. You're not incentivized for your normal draw. You're incentivized for discarding.
Yeah.
And honestly, just for trying to kill with this commander. This is a strange kill people with an Is It Commander card.
Yes.
I love this card. I love it so much. But I'm an Is It player too.
Yeah, we know.
So like even something like stupid like Frantic Search. Okay.
Yep.
Frantic Search is like a 2 and a blue sorcery speed, I believe. But like you draw 2 cards and you discard 2 cards, basically. Or something along those lines.
So really it's draw 4 cards.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know? And then if I like things like that, like you have to remember like if I have something like Library of Layout, it's even like
discard to the top of your library.
Oh, I also even thought about this though. You're very, very incentivized to run the Narset Planeswalker that's annoying, that everyone can't, and the wheels.
Yes.
So you sit there and you windfall and...
Yeah. It's really, or like, like anything like that.
What a weird way to play... What a weird way to play into a Labman kind of combo, or into a... what's the Mizzix Overload card? Where you can cast all the spells from your graveyard. Mizzix Mastery?
Yes.
Yeah. A really, really cool card to try and go that way.
But the one, like, for me, I would play, like, my janky stuff here for, like, things like Alpha Scholars. You guys have seen me play Alpha Scholars.
Yeah, where you can discard your hand to draw 3. That's awesome.
So basically, Alpha Scholars is a blue enchantment. If I remember correctly, it's 3 in a blue, okay? And basically, during your upkeep, if you can target an opponent that has more cards in hand than you. Okay, so let's say Daniel has 4 cards and I have 2 cards. I can choose to discard my hand to draw 3 cards instead. Okay, so with this, I'll just discard my 2, draw 2
draw
from
5,
and then draw.
This is a really, really cool instance matter commander for sure.
Yeah,
because you're going to be able to. Braid of Fire would love this deck.
Oh,
because you're going to sit there and get all of that mana, but the ability to get rid of it. Memory Jar would be really, really good in this as well.
I think if I played this as a commander, you guys would hate me and never talk to me again.
Plus in these colors, there's numerous other creatures that have the exact same
ability
first ability.
Yeah. So you have like Chimera for
there's the Chimera.
There's Enigma Drake.
Well, like I said, Runechanter's Pike, the ability to get first strike and 1/0 for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard, that can get exceptionally strong pretty quickly.
Oh, this commander is, in my opinion, if like you can break the game so easily with this commander. It's insane. Like my mind's just going nuts.
This is one that I think I'd like to build as well, just in an interesting wheel and deal kind of commander.
Let's be honest, Daniel. You're going to build all of these.
This set is going to bankrupt us.
If
I will
were,
never financially recover from this.
if I were to make an EDH deck for this, I would have to set a limit to myself for like a $50 budget. Because if I
Ooh,
don't,
a budget one of this would be cool. I would not budget this one. I would be like, how can I salt the whole table?
I could write a deck for you within like 15 minutes on how to break the game with this. It's stupid, okay? That's why I would have to put a limit on myself, or else I would never have friends anymore. You guys would disown me.
Mind over matter would be great in this too as well. Discard a card to tap things down.
Yeah.
Or to untap your things.
Yeah.
Oof. That's kind of neat, yeah. There's a lot of ways to exploit that one. I think it's really cool.
There's too many, but let's keep going. Once again, this set's just so insane.
I don't know. I don't think we got to Vadok's Apex of Thunder. He's just Jexai for an elemental dinosaur cat. 3/3 body, legendary. Flying first strike. Whenever it mutates, you can cast target non-creature card with CMC 3 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost.
Yeah.
Awesome.
With that Narset too, and it's just, yeah.
I love it. It has mutate, of course.
Did we talk about the new Vivian?
I don't think so.
I love
we
her.
did not.
I love her. So Vivian Monster's Advocate, also iconic. Love the name. It's dope. So 3 green. So she has 2 passive abilities, which is really neat. So it is, you may look at the top of your library at any time, the top card of your library at any time, and you may cast creature spells from the top of your library.
Yeah.
Tight.
Very, very cool. So it
good.
kind of gives you a Yiva effect and like a Garruk's Companion effect into one card.
And then her +1.
Really quickly, flat out as even just not Planeswalker, leaving that as an enchantment
Yeah.
would be an
Already
awesome
really
card.
strong.
That's what I mean. Like all of the planeswalkers with passive abilities, I look at as if they were enchantments.
Yeah,
And
because
then-
they're awesome.
'cause-
She still has a plus, which is
tight. Yeah. So she is, her plus is +1. Create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Put your choice of a vigilance counter, a reach counter, or a trample counter on it. So it gives itself protection and an answer to something like
protection
flying.
on a plus is one of the best things. And green is pretty weak against flying for a lot of the time.
Yeah, unless you're running spiders.
Or
Getting
sandworm
everything
conversion.
reach.
Right.
Everything reach.
Yeah. And then she does also have her minus. She doesn't have an alt. She just has the -2.
So this is kind of her ult, though.
Yeah.
So it's -2. You cast when you cast your next creature spell this turn. Search your library for a creature card with lesser CMC and put it onto the battlefield.
Which is
Shuffle your
so
library.
crazy.
And it's a -2, and she comes in at 3, so you can do it immediately.
You can. The big
gross.
thing that makes this not so bad, at least, is that she's at least 5 mana, so you're probably not dropping your huge bomb.
But at
My
the same
green
time, you're in green.
Omnath is just going to be going insane.
That being said, though, I believe Galta is the dinosaur that costs less for each power or whatever
Yes.
it is. Galta's CMC would still be 12,
Yeah.
or whatever it is, 12 or 14.
I think it's 12.
No, it's 12 because it's 10 and green.
Oh, is it? Okay, I thought it was 12 and 2.
Which would mean that with 7 mana, you could alt her and Galta on the first turn if you had the creatures available for 12 or less, because even though it's lower, the CMC is still 12.
Keep in mind, you're also in green with some of the most mana doubles out there. Like if you play
Sorry, mana doubles? Let's talk mana triples here.
Yeah.
At this point in time, like Nyx Bloom.
All of my forests tap for 12.
All of my...
Yeah. So for this is nothing. Like paying for 5 mana is nothing for green.
This is a great card.
Yeah.
It is a great card. So
Super dope.
Also, just the ability to have flash on your creatures is
Right?
pretty wicked.
Brian would still be playing that wrong.
Brian has Vivian and Vidalkin out.
I mean, it's flash
They
kind of.
negate each other, right? So I have to play them normally still?
The next we have Winota, Joiner of Forces. 2 in Boros for a human warrior. Boo, it should be a soldier. Everything should be. For a 4/4, which is pretty good, 4/4 for 4. Whenever a non-human creature you control attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You can put a human creature from among them onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. It gains indestructible till the end of the turn. Put the rest on the bottom in any order, or in a random order.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome,
It's
especially for the new partner colors in those, which are... Spoiler still, and there's I have a lot of favorites in this. Those are my favorites. They're just great. We're going to talk about them for sure because I'm super excited to make that deck. We'll get there though. Bonder's Enclave is a new land. Tapped for a colorless. Doesn't come in tapped. Pay 3, draw a card. Activate it only if you...
Pay 3 and tap.
Pay 3 and tap, yes. Draw a card. Activate its ability only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. I'm not super excited about it.
This is an interesting card. Like I think this card is great for the colors where it's hard to get card draw. So like white, for example.
True.
Yeah, if you're like desperate for draw, it's a nice like.
There's no
it's an
downside to
outlet.
running it. It's not colored, but still.
Yeah.
I can
White
usually.
for 4? No, that's angels.
Yeah, you have angels. You have like if you played the new Hilliard Sun's Crown.
Yeah, just whenever I think of like white, I'm always thinking like a white weenie deck, which is just the quick paced, really weak creatures. Suntail Hawk and all that stuff that I'll just boost them.
You can fix that with this next card, Brian.
Cobblade.
This card is the craziest.
Colossification.
Yeah, for 5 green.
This should be the face of the set.
Yeah. Enchantment
cat.
Aura. Enchant creature, when it comes into the battlefield, tap enchanted creature so it can't attack right away for a good reason, because enchanted creature gets 20/20.
Flash says hello.
Flash. It's green. Like I can untap my stuff.
So if
Yeah,
I
that's
fling
true.
it at someone, I don't care.
Yeah.
It has
Like,
a
rule.
really cool alt art one, and I don't know
Ooh.
what the alt art one is, but it's it's so weird.
Attach that to your.
Yeah,
The
I love it.
flavor text is hilarious. Talk later. Row now.
I love it. It's like a little buggy boy. It looks like maybe like a caterpillar, which would
With claws.
Yeah, it looks. Well, to me, that would make sense with like Mothra.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where I assume they're coming from.
Yeah.
We did talk Crystalline Giant already.
This is not going to go the way of Pokeball where it's evolutions.
Yeah.
Speaking of cats, Cub Warden.
Cub Warden is so cool.
4 mana and also a mutate for 4, which is pretty cool for a 3/5. Lifelinker, when it mutates, create 2 1/1 white cat tokens with lifelink.
I had not seen this.
I love the alternate art.
Yeah, the second alternate art reminds me of like the beast that Luke slayed on Hoth, and he.
Oh, the Tauntauns were... Oh, no, not the Tauntauns. That's what they were
The
writing
thing that
about.
killed the Tauntaun.
Yeah.
The
I like it.
cat tokens, obviously great. We got the cat secret lair, and we have the lifelink cool
The-
tokens.
The
I'm
cute
also a
tokens.
cat playing queen. So
Love cats.
I'll make that your new bio.
yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
My name's
Death,
Hope, and I like cats.
Death's
Oh,
Oasis,
cops.
an enchantment for white, black, green. Whenever
Oh.
a non-token creature you control dies, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Self-mill, and not including blue, very weird. Then return a creature card with lesser CMC than the creature that died from your graveyard to your hand.
But that's still a green, like,
It's still
Green, black.
green and a
still
black.
Gary with like protection now.
Yeah, but
Right?
there's also,
Right?
there's also another ability on it as well.
Pay 1, sack Death's Oasis. You gain life equal to the greatest CMC among creatures you control.
Which is not bad at all. Especially considering, like, once again, you're in green.
Yep.
Green has green has big monsters with CMC. You're in black with like things like demons and whatnot and nightmares, which have huge casting costs.
Yeah.
So
It's got really cool artwork too.
I
I
said
do really
you
like
gain
it.
up to like 10 life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
but
devastating.
the ability to gain up to 10 life for 1 is
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
good.
not saying it's bad.
Yep.
I'm just saying that like that's what I think.
It has white in it. It could have been you gain 2 life. Let's just be happy.
Yeah.
Let's be happy with what we got.
I don't think white sucks as much as everybody else does.
Yeah.
White doesn't suck. White just that's their whole ability. Did you see there was like a joke? It was just like Power 9 reimagined as white, and it's like Black Lotus, tap to sack, you gain 3 life. Yeah, then it was just like Time Walk in white. It's just like skip your next turn, you gain 3 life. Like
Oh, there was a card like that in white way back in the days, like in like the dark or something like that, where it's like, was it fasting or something like that? I don't know.
who knows? White. I don't know. They underpower a lot. That's a lot of people will get to the ultimatum, but everyone keeps making fun of the one that includes the white because it's like deal 5 damage, draw 5 cards, you gain 5 life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoop-de-doo.
that's that's
Okay.
not the good part of the card. Dirge Bat.
I don't remember if we talked about this.
No,
one or
we
not.
didn't. This is a new one too.
Okay, cool.
I like the alternate art.
Yeah, it's really neat.
So it's 2 black, okay, creature bat, 3/3, has mutate for 4 black, and flash. Flying.
Awesome.
Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls.
Interesting.
Which is the cool part, like the fact that you can destroy a planeswalker. I don't care about creature, what they do. The fact that you can destroy a planeswalker
Yeah.
is a big thing.
Yeah, straight up Planeswalker destruction at instant speed.
Yeah.
We did talk about this next one. Oh, this also has a third alternate art, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah, it's one of the kaiju.
The Japanese ones only. This next one is one of the coolest commander hate bears I've ever seen. Draneth Magistrate. I'm pretty sure we talked about it last time, but it's 1 white, 1 colorless for a 1/3 human wizard. Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands.
Which is dope.
Ruins graveyard shenanigans for lots of people.
Yeah.
It ruins a lot of like CEDH. I'm going to use the Dread Return.
Yes.
Yeah, can't do any of that stuff.
Ooh, did we make it more difficult than that?
You can't play your commander if your whole deck runs around a.
Oh,
if somebody
you can't
gets,
play your commander.
Yeah, you can't cast
I didn't even
spells.
think about
Yeah.
that. Oh no!
Yeah.
no.
This is brutal.
So if your whole deck runs around your commander, like you're running.
The only one that really gets away from this is a Loro. That just sits there, you gain 2 life.
Yeah.
Or
But-
evidence.
Or the
ones,
Eminence
yeah.
commanders.
But that's what I mean. Like just the ability to. If I'm playing Tuvasa, I don't have anything else good to enchant. The whole point is to put it on Tuvasa.
And like even cost 2.
Yeah.
I make him indestructible, and he has hexproof, and you can't touch him.
Well, and it doesn't hit you. It's your opponents can't
Yeah.
cast. This is getting aggressively shoved into my Gaddock Teague CEDH. The
Ew.
most annoying deck I've ever seen.
The most
You
annoying
just
deck
zapped.
ever.
I
Zapped
loved
my
it. I
happiness.
loved it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was playing a game with Brian with that deck, and 4 turns in, I was just like, I'm gonna stop playing this deck. We're playing a 4-man pod. Brian was playing zombies. It ruined the game entirely for everyone else. There was an Alesha player.
me.
There's an Alesha player and an Angie player, and they couldn't do anything. They couldn't tap and activate abilities. Cards from graveyards couldn't, and I had a rest in peace out, so everything that hit the graveyard was gone.
God.
Like,
But I could still play.
yeah, Brian could still play. I did pick up, and then the other decks just were.
I was gonna say, so Brian would have won.
Oh, for sure. That whole game should have been called Brian would have won. While 2 people got to sit and do nothing. But even I was like,
That
it was
did not happen.
it was
he
on
picked
turn.
up, and I lost.
You gotta recognize though, that's not fun.
It was on turn 4. I drew Spelltithe Enforcer, and I was like, all right, I've got to stop this. Spelltithe Enforcer, for anyone who doesn't know, is every time your opponents cast a spell, they have to pay 1 or sack a permanent.
That's so silly.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I should cut this out. The whole point of that deck was to just cut off at the knees any of those, like, I'm going to flash multiple spells, CEDH style things. Like, it's a lot of, you can only play 1 spell a turn, you can only play from your hand, you can't hit graveyards, no activated abilities of artifacts, no ETBs, no dying. Like, it's just
It's CEDH that ruins CEDH.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh,
It's
hilarious.
That's
SEDH?
actually very funny.
It's SEDH. It's salty.
Yeah. I think that's kind of funny because I don't think any CEDH
is
player
my
would expect
flavored
something
deck.
like that.
I flavored it with the tears of my opponents.
Right?
Ooh, this next one's
so
so
salty.
awesome. This next card.
So there's a whole series of these which are just wonderful. The ultimatums are back. They made
yeah,
new ones.
but this one is
Yeah, I'll let you take this one. The Commander Bread and Butter card.
yeah,
Ugh.
Eerie Ultimatum. Okay, white, black, green. Okay, sorcery speed. Return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield.
This is a card that, unless you're trying to play like a fast game, there's almost no reason to not run this. In your mill deck that we were just talking about, the self mill, or like a Gave, any of those ones, this is just such a good card. It's such a good card. It's very expensive and a weird mana cost, yes,
But you're gonna cheat it out.
but it's awesome.
Even if you don't cheat it out, I don't think it's that hard to get that much mana. Not in EDH. It's only 7.
And not in green.
All I'm hearing is, bring back all my enchantments.
Yeah, exactly, Brian. Every
I'm
one of them.
making. I'm
Splash some black.
Yeah, splashing some black. Done deal. But you know what? That's just gross.
Yeah.
And that also adds in all those really gross black enchantments.
Yep.
yeah.
Whenever
Well-
I gain life, you guys lose up.
Yeah.
It's also permanent cards. It's not non-land cards.
Yeah.
You also get all your lands back.
Oh, yeah.
if you have
Yeah.
any lands
This is
in
an
the
awesome
graveyard.
card.
It's
This is
so
great.
good.
This is also a great answer in Golos if somebody's disrupted it. You've got lands in the graveyard. You hit this and bring all your lands back.
Hell yeah.
This is It's just really, really strong overall. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You can come up with so many examples. It's just so strong. It's stupid.
The artwork in this set is just wonderful too.
Yeah, it's really
yeah.
beautiful.
Another one of the ultimatum cycles, Emergent Ultimatum, which is just
I love
Yeah.
this one. I love this one.
black, triple green, blue. Search your library for up to 3 monocolored cards with different names and exile them. So again, amazing. This wasn't made for standard. I just want to point that out. This was made for commander players.
Yeah,
Like they
it totally was.
They don't care about standard players at all. Like I have no idea how any of this nonsense is going to work in standard whatsoever. It seems so disruptive to the standard metagame in general, and like it seems like so many of these like CMCs are just unplayable, unusable. Like there's so many.
And we're just over here like, thank you, Wizard.
Yeah,
Thank you.
this was a commander set. Like this is commander standard.
Yeah. It's the only reason why I'm spending so much on this set right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going broke.
But yeah, so you search for 3 monocolored. So at least it's only monocolored, but it still will hit like Sholdred, Jin-Gitaxias, and Vorinclex. Let's just be real. An opponent chooses one of those cards. So even their an opponent, they know that this isn't for standard. Like, let's just be real. They know what they're doing. An opponent chooses one of the cards. You shuffle that card in. It doesn't even get exiled. You just shuffle it back into your deck. It's like, all right. And then you can cast the other cards without paying their mana costs.
And it's in Muldrotha colors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in like the most aggressive, annoying
The
cards.
meanest colors.
Yeah.
Salty.
Salty,
Salty, yeah. Haha.
Whoa.
Everquill Phoenix. 4 mana for a 4/4 with flying, like every Phoenix. It has mutate for 3. So its actual cost is 2 red. Its mutate is 3 and a red. When it mutates, create a red artifact token named Feather with 1 sack feather, return target Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
I'm not happy
Weird.
with this one. Personally speaking, like, I think it'll be a great card in standard. You'll probably see it in the other formats, but in Commander,
The one thing about Phoenix that I don't like is that their whole like stick is that they're supposed to like regenerate when they die,
or come back or something. Like
Yeah,
and there's only a few that actually do that.
yeah, there's like
the
3 or
comic
4.
artwork on this is very, very Jean Grey as Phoenix. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I really like the artwork they did. They have another the Japanese version as well, which is pretty good.
Troya.
Dope.
This is an awesome card. The next one, Extinction Event. Choose odd or even. Exile each creature with CMC cost of the chosen value. 0 is even. That's a really, really cool card.
Oh, it looks as if you're playing a commander deck where all your creatures are odd or all your creatures are even.
This
Oh,
is the companion stuff, right?
Oh no, companions. Oh
So-
no.
Oh, you're playing tokens? That'd be crazy
Oh
if I...
no.
Oh,
no.
even? Does odd still hit tokens or no?
No,
Nope,
because
So
there's
zero.
zero counts as even, right?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
what I like to do for stuff like that, because like when was it Blast Zone or Blasting Zone, whatever. But it's the land where like it comes in and you can sacrifice it depending on how many blast counters there are. You destroy all CMCs with that counter on it, but it comes in with 1 at least. What I like to do is like I have that in my Chulang deck, right? With the clock
You're
spin.
disgusting.
So
Oh,
I
you
take
take it off.
Yeah, I take it off and then I sack it. So I destroy everything, like all the tokens and everything, and people just hate me every single time. So
It's a
I love
cool
that.
card.
I respect that.
yeah,
I do have to say that Wizards has definitely been watching the alternate art markets.
Oh yeah, that's like I
for
said,
sure.
they know that alt art is there. And again, these are made for commander players. Nobody...
Like, I'm just looking at that. I don't even know what card it is, but I'm looking at that.
Yeah.
No, the middle one. Yeah,
Oh.
but down one
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right there. I'm looking at this one. I'm like, that looks like something that I would go out and go, hey, I want to buy this.
Yeah, well, that's it. They understand that there's not doing alternate and different things is just leaving money on the table at this
Yeah.
point because people want alts. They want the border extension. I pay extra money for border extensions on my cards.
Especially when they have these relationships with such incredible artists and such
Yes.
and access to
Yes.
to these artists. So it's like, why not use them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and even just like I said, even the border extension on cards alone
Yeah.
is just so nice because some of them it's not even like any new art. They just fill it out and take some of the frame out and it just makes that card pop.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
It's a huge difference.
This is for Hope here, Frond Land Felidar.
They did print it for me, yes.
2 colorless, and Selesnya, 1 green, 1 white. Vigilance.
Cat beast.
Cat Beast. A Cat Beast at 3/5. Vigilance is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And creatures you control with Vigilance have pay 1, tap target creature.
That is really good.
It's a pretty cool card.
Well, and that's nice because, like, I find
cat.
with my kitty cats, there's not a lot of, like, protection in that realm, you know?
Is this the one you're talking about here?
The Gem Razor?
yeah,
The
alternate-
Gem Razor.
The Gem Razor, the comic book, or the...
The comic book
comic
one he
book.
was talking about.
Yeah,
It
right.
just looks fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
That
Sherman, what is
perspective,
the Gem
though?
Razor?
So it's 300 green, okay? Beast for 4/4, so it's really already pretty strong there. But it has mutate 1 green, and it's reach trample, awesome. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls.
No, don't like it anymore. Get rid of it.
What? You're gonna play
Its
it?
mutate cost is less than its casting cost.
Well, that's the whole problem is mutate kind of 2-for-1s your creature. So there is a little downside to mutate.
Yeah, so you're risking it.
But again, let's look at this without its mutate. It's still a 4/4 reach trample for 4 mana. Great
Yeah.
card.
It's already good.
Great card. We talked more than once about how green's not good at flying.
Yeah.
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 I just like my enchantments. I don't like
Genesis.
all this new destroy stuff.
I love it. I can always use more enchantment destruction. I think it's super valuable. I'm all about it.
Are you going to read the...
Oh, Genesis? Sorry. Genesis Ultimatum. And by
Just say
Genesis,
it the
I
right
mean
way.
Genesis.
Thank you.
In my head.
People were like, what are you talking about?
We played with somebody who always called it Genesis Wave. And they wouldn't listen that it was Genesis.
Cannot stop. So, it's...
This is the land of confusion.
yeah.
Also, this is wonderful art.
Minacce.
Yeah, it's
Again,
super pretty.
Again, if we had a wonderful art jar, I'd have to fill it with loonies by the end of this.
Yeah.
For everyone
Loonies.
listening, yeah, everyone not Canadian, that's our joke Monopoly money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's $1.
It's not
So,
even Monopoly money, it's a coin.
Yeah.
so this one is 2 green, 3 blue, 2 red. And it is, look at the top 5 cards of your library, put any number of permanent cards from among them onto the battlefield and the rest into your hand.
The Animar loves it.
Love it. Put.
If you could double that.
Yeah, if only
Yeah.
they just made a 3-color deck in green, blue, and red that was meant to copy. Oh, they did. Yeah. Sure, it only copies instants, but that's not going to stop everyone from putting 1,000-Year Storm and every copy spell available in here.
Heck yeah.
This is a really cool card. This is a lot of people. I've seen a few like Instagram polls go up, and it's just like, do you like this or Genesis Wave more? Genesis Wave. I should basically at this point own stock in Genesis Wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that card in every deck.
But this is still very good,
But
very
Still
cool.
really good.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
It's neat. Like I said, this is just commander food. No one's doing this in their standard game.
No.
And if they are, they're not playing standard very well.
Yeah, because it's 7 mana. Like,
Challenge accepted.
well, you can play it in standard, you're just going to lose a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Hunted Nightmare, which is just the nightmare art of my dreams. 1 black for a nightmare, 4/5 with Mythic, of course. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent puts a death counter on a creature they control. This is just a really, really cool card to group hug. Honestly, it just gives something an opponent controls death touch. Like, it's a cool group hug card.
Yeah. So, like, 4/5 for 3, sure. Like, I'll give you one of your creatures death touch, and then I'll just kill it with some stupid spell. So, because, I'm in black.
Well, it's like a tempting worm. Comes in. Like, either I get a 5/5 for 2, and you guys can just randomly drop stuff. But yeah, okay,
Sure.
I pay 3 for a 4/5.
Yeah.
It looks like it's time.
It's time to talk about it.
We got to the first one.
The first one's out.
Number 1, these cards on Spoil have just generated so many threads talking about if they're good, if they're not good. I will settle that debate right now. They're good.
I have to say they're really
good. So many people, I've seen, like I said, people say that these are going to sit at $1. That's crazy. That's just lunacy to me.
Tell them what.
Oh, I think everyone knows it's the Triomes. So the Triomes are a new cycle of lands available, interestingly enough, corresponding with the commander colors. How weird. How very weird. Fetchable lands, 3 color. They enter tapped, and they're cycling. So the first one is Indatha Triome. And wow. So Plain Swamp Forest, amazing. It enters tapped, and it has cycling into the late game. These are just phenomenal cards. These are fetchable. These can replace the spot of an Evolving Wilds or a Terramorphic Expanse in any 3 or more color deck, and they're awesome. Yeah, sure, they come in tapped, but there's nothing else you could do to not make these broken.
Yeah.
If you put these in where they tapped and pinged a life, every time you tap for one of the colors, still exceptionally broken. If you put these in for a shock land value, still broken, even if you doubled the shock. If I had to pay 4 for this untapped,
I'd still pay
these
for
would
4.
be dual land level goods in Commander.
Yeah.
These are just phenomenal. And for everyone who doesn't understand that, like, it's just the biggest issue, like, monocolor is always going to be your cheapest builds in Magic because of a land base. Land base is so much of it, right? Doesn't matter how many cool, expensive cards you put into your 5-color deck.
If you can't play them.
Yeah, if you can't get them out, because you're always going to be slowed down by that budget. So your choice is spend exorbitantly on mana in not only the fetches, but the shocks. Like, you need a land base that's going to produce 1 or more if you're going to play. Like, Slivers can't play with just basic lands.
And dragons.
Yeah, exactly. The Dragon can't play in just like basic lands. Like, you need something to do with it, right? These are just amazing lands.
Yeah.
And like, think of it, if they came in to play untapped, that's better than dual lands. Dual lands.
If these came in untapped, and even if like give them just a ridiculous ability, untapped Fading 3, they would still be dual land level good.
Crazy.
Yep, they would still be dual land level good. There's no everyone's saying that they should have been something else. There's nothing else they could have made these tri-lands that would not have been game breaking. If these came in, if this just came in normal, let's take the cycling out, let's take it out, and everyone's like, they should come in untapped, these would be $400 lands easily. You would never find boxes of this on the shelf. Wizard would not be able to keep up with the demand. Like, they couldn't print enough. Everyone's like, oh, well, it's print to demand right now. You could not print enough to make it work. Like, this is amazing. In any modern deck, you'd be able to splash your off colors, no problem. These aren't legendary. You could run 4 off at any decks. Like,
Amulet of Vigor. And also, they still come in untapped if you really wanted to.
But that's what I mean. Just their ability. Like, so many people, oh, these aren't CEDH playable and stuff. Like, these are really, really good. To fix a 3-color, like, if you're...
It allows more people to play 3-color
multiple
or
color.
more color decks.
Well,
it allows it to flow a little bit easier than having to spend all that money on all those duels.
Most of the most popular commanders right now on EDH Rec are multicolor commanders, like tricolor. Yeah. Muldrotha is, as far as I know at the moment, the most popular EDH Rec commander.
Yeah.
And this is just good for Muldrotha. This is just good at any point. The ability to cycle it and still play it from the graveyard in a Muldrotha deck, amazing. Just the ability to cycle it late game if you don't need it is really good on a land.
Yeah. Well, even like I was saying earlier, like, it's nice to be able to have like these other land options in the 3-color, because like right now you have the 3-color lands, but they're not fetchable.
Yep.
And
people still play them.
And I
people play stuff like Savage Lands.
I run all of those in my dragons because the color fix.
In my Anala deck, I run the 3-color. I think it's Arcane Sanctum.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Whatever one it is,
Well, people play those lands that comes in with two counters on
it.
The Vivid March and But it's like for the color fix. Like, you need it. Yeah. Like,
boom,
this is a game changer. The fact that they're fetchable. When Daniel showed me these yesterday, like when they were announced,
I started calling people. I was like, people got to know this. I was in a parking lot waiting to go into a store. Hope's like, can we just go in already, please?
Yeah, I was in my car driving. Daniel's trying to show me. I'm like, if you're reacting this way, I need you to wait till I'm parked. Because I don't know what this is going to be. And then he showed me, like, I took his phone, he showed me, and I was just like, oh my God, they're fetchable. And I just, like, threw the phone because I, like, couldn't even handle looking at them.
I was getting ready for bed.
Yeah.
And saw the message, you need to post this now.
Well, these are just amazing. Number 1, they are super cool. Number 2, the alternate artwork on these, like the showcase.
So pretty.
These are going to be chase cards. For everyone who thinks that these are $1 and stuff, please, by all means.
Yeah, sell them to me for $1.
Send everyone you pull, and I will buy them.
Yeah.
Test me. Send 300. I'll buy them. These are amazing. These are amazing. These are going... I will fill pages in my binder with these for just commander building decks. Like, these will be chase cards for me. I will literally buy them every time I see them because I don't see their... Number 1, these are tied to the plane.
Yeah.
They're not going to reprint these anytime soon unless they come back to Ikoria and do the opposite cycle, like that includes Jund and everything like that. So these are gonna be chase cards for anything. These are amazing for 5-color decks. They make it playable. You can play, like, if you're trying to get into Commander, and I say right now, it's never been a better time. You can't really make a effective first sliver deck on the cheap, but this really, really accelerates what you can do.
It helps a lot.
Oh yeah, this takes a lot of the mana rocks that you need to fix it. Like these are just cool cards. These are amazing. Like for Kenrith, stuff like that. For Golos, where I'm playing 4 lands of turn, boo-hoo, they're not tapped. Like,
yeah.
Or not untapped. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
These are awesome.
It's so good.
I drew this one card in my triple colored deck. I only have one other land.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry because that is all 3 of the...
Well, that's your color fix, exactly.
Yeah.
How many games have you seen somebody just their whole night's ruined because they don't have the color they need to play their deck or something? Like, it just...
Turn 20. I finally drew my 3rd color.
Right?
Well, I've seen Brian's deck have 5 swamps on deck and not the mountain he needs from Ogus.
Yeah.
Like, it
Sucks.
happens. It happens to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's people. The decks are random. You're gonna get good games and bad games, but like just anything that can fix your colors on, for the penalty of it being tapped. Boo hoo.
Yeah. I think the best part is like it fixes
the cycling too.
The cycling is great because it's like late game if you don't need it, no big deal. But it's just the fact that you can fetch them.
Yeah, well, that's
The fact
exactly
that
it.
they're fetchable as basic land types, so with plain, swamp, forest, mountain.
Well, just the ability
Island.
to...
It's
I run off-color fetches. We were talking about this before the show, like before we started recording. I run Breeding Pool in Gitrog.
Yeah.
Because I just need extra things to go fetch out my duels. Like, for everything, I need to be able to go and get that Bayou sometimes. Like, I'll run every card because those are the tap, pay a life, in Gitrog I draw a card if it hits.
My 300 card commander deck.
Yeah. But like the fetchable makes these invaluable. Like they were really good to start, and then they made them.
Well, these are
incredible.
instant upgrades to the commander decks. They're so cool.
They're dope.
Okay, so let's
We can talk about them all day.
Move on here, just because.
Episode 32 is just me talking about the Triome. It's 4 hours long.
Still,
Okay, the next one is another ultimatum, inspired ultimatum.
this is the funny one.
God. Blue, red, white, sorcery speed like usual. Target player gains 5 life. Inspired ultimatum deals 5 damage to any target. Then you draw 5 cards. Okay, like, this is so stupid.
It's a silly one. It's fine.
silly.
It's like a fine card, but I don't think for 7.
Dealing 5 damage and drawing 5 cards. Awesome. But who cares about 5 life?
I just
See, I could see that if it was in the black. Like, if it did have the black, I gain 5 life, I deal 5 life to you, or 5 damage to you, and then I deal another 5 damage to someone else.
for
But when...
7?
Yeah. Like, it's if it was splashed in different colors, I could see it being really good, but with that coloring, no.
it's kind of I don't know.
5 life, not that good. 5 damage.
Not
and
bad.
draw 5, really good. So like
Especially red blue.
that is the one. That's the one problem with it is like with a draw 5 on it. Like if there was a card, let's take white out of it. Let's say that there was a card that was just blue red 7 mana, draw 5 cards, deal 5 damage to any target. That'd be playable. People would play that.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like your 5 life's a nice bonus. It's just
I just think relative to the other ultimatums, it's not.
well, no, the
There's always
joke.
gonna be lackluster
The
ones.
jokes come from the fact that it's just like the
You got
5
the
life,
points.
but like what's the other effect white's good for? Destroying things.
Yeah.
So like what?
Destroy 5 targets.
I was gonna say destroy 5 artifacts or enchantments. Like you
No,
can't
don't say
put,
that.
but that's what I mean. You can't put that onto a card.
don't say
that.
Exile
Could.
5 creatures.
But what if you
Who
said exile or destroy a non-land card with CMC 5 or less?
That would still be way too strong with a 5.
But it's an ultimatum!
It might be an ultimatum, but it's still
Here's
5.
your ultimatum. Stop giving bad ideas and get out.
So change it to a mythic and call it a day. Who cares?
Here's the next one's a really, really cool card. I also
It's so
spammed our
dope.
Discord with it. Gigantha the Wellspring. It's an elk elemental, or elkamental is what I'm going to call it. But it's a 5/5 at 5, 4
you have
colorless, 4 colorless, and hybrid hybrid red green. Companion, which I don't care about, but it's no card in your starting deck has more than one of the same mana symbol in its cost. Meh. Yeah, whatever. It's pretty good, though, for slivers. Again, slivers are not often doubled up.
Also good in anything that runs Fist of Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does have add 5 mana. So add Wooburg as a tap on a 5/5 body, which is... Why is Prime Titan banned again? Why?
Yeah.
Add Wooburg. This mana can't be spent to pay generics. You can't pay colorless with it, but you can...
Pay Joda.
Yeah, you can pay Joda cost. You can pay Fist of Suns. You can do Dragon first Sliver, Sliver Legion.
Sliver
the Doors
Queen,
of Nothing list.
Morophon.
So if you have Nyx Plume Ancient out, it's stabbing through 50.
You are correct. Yes,
Right?
you're correct, Brian. That is right. Helm of the Hostess.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, Helm of the Hosted.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This is so. Yeah, sure, you can't pay colorless cost with it, but still, there's a lot of things that need colored mana.
Yeah. Literally, I need it. For the Fist of Suns. It's perfect.
Yeah, well, and just 4 dragons alone, just the ability to do that. In Slivers, a great card. A great card. Like, this is, again, another mana fix for it, but it's also a cool commander on its own.
Super dope.
That's the thing about these companions is they're pretty cool as their own commander, because you could run this. This is a new 5-color commander option.
Elements.
It's a 5-color, a 5-color elemental deck. Awesome, which also taps for 5.
We're getting new elementals later this year.
Yeah, Omnath in a cave.
Omnath in a cave or whatever.
Wizards.
Or Omnath with wings.
Omnath in a cloud.
Yeah. Omnath Goku.
No, that's the final form of Omnath is Omnath Ascended. I'm calling it now. Years from now, when they print Omnath 5.
Yeah.
Yo, Omnath 5 though.
Yeah, that would be awesome if that was its name, Omnath 5.
Right?
This next one
Captain
is probably
Planet.
by far one of my favorite ones.
The Orphan Guard.
Oh, it's dope.
First off, what a dope name. Kahira the Orphan Guard. Another
Right?
commander.
Like, be
Cat
my
beast.
It
be
is a
my mom.
cat beast.
So
Cat beast.
looks like to me it looks like an elk as well, like with the horns that it has.
It's a cool looking card.
It looks to me like a tiger with horns.
Meow.
So it's a one hybrid,
What?
green white, for a 3/2 cat beast companion. Each creature you card in your starting deck is a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast. Whoop-de-doo.
I could do that.
Cat.
Vigilance.
Yeah, this just goes in a Rabo.
Yeah.
But
That's
this is
for free.
This is the good part of it, okay? Each other creature you control that's a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast gets a +1/+1 and has vigilance.
Hey, that ties right back into that other card we were just talking about.
But right though, like, because
Well-
I was gonna say, like, for me, being a cat player, being the only cat player, one of the biggest things that I find in my aggressive pursuits of Magic the Gathering
Pursuits?
is having to tap my creatures. All I want to do in life is kill people, but I don't want to tap my creatures. Vigilance to me is like the most valuable mechanic.
But now, if your creatures or your cats have vigilance that also have indestructible from that previous card.
Yeah, they're so strong. I kill
As
everyone.
soon as I noticed that, I was like, whoa. Like, all
kill-
your cats
look at
have
me.
vigilance, and then
I kill
everything that has vigilance is indestructible?
What is
everyone.
Vigilance indestructible?
No, it's the other white-green card that was further up that we
The
were
things
reading.
with things of vigilance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think... no, that just lets them tap.
Hang on.
Or is it way up higher? Let me see. I'm going to find this one. Because that'll be
We can always go back to it.
silly if it is.
'Cause that's what I remember reading as, if they have vigilance.
I thought there was vigilance they just get to
Are you
tap.
skipping over a bunch of cats?
I don't know.
Because you are.
Sorry, everyone. Technical difficulties. Mutates, creates 2, blah, blah, blah. Not that one.
Are you talking about this one?
Which one are you looking at?
That one taps target creature.
Yeah.
No.
Let's
Yeah, well, I'll find the
let's
card.
find it later. Let's keep going,
Yeah.
okay? Let's keep going.
Still would be silly.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Okay, so...
I don't
Vigilance
have to.
is great.
I don't have to tap my cats.
Yeah.
I just come at you, both barrels loaded.
Ketria Triome.
This is
Again,
another one. It's
Forest
teamwork
Island
colors.
Mountain.
Yeah.
Love it.
Disgusting.
I like the secondary art for it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All the...
The
Those
Triome
are
art?
going to be
Oh.
super, super chase. And you know I'm going to have to pay somebody to now make me Comic Book Windgrace and Comic Book Golos. Hit me up.
Yeah. Hit all of us up.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I just want all the playmats with those lands.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
That would be. These are ones that I will buy the prints of if they're available.
Yeah.
I'd love to buy the prints and just frame them for even just down here where we record. That would be wonderful artwork.
Yeah. it's
So
very
inspiring.
But then
I'd put them sideways. 'cause they're soft.
So
No.
where did you find this? Like, where did you guys take this photo? Oh, this
Yeah.
isn't here.
My non-magic friends, this is a great landscape.
cool. Oh, yeah, thanks.
did we talk about King Kong?
Yeah, we'll talk about them.
Yeah.
Kogla the Titan Ape.
Okay, so 3 green. Okay, legendary creature ape, 7/6. When it
7/6 for 6 is pretty tight.
it's not bad.
That's a worm.
It's not bad.
Yep.
So, when it enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. When it attacks,
Battle ape.
destroy target artifact or enchantment defender player controls, and for 1 in a
Bonkers.
green, return target human you control to its owner's hand. It
Kogla
gains
gains
indestructible until end of
indestructible.
turn.
The
It's
fact
King
that
Kong,
it's
I get it.
The fact that it's destroys on attack
Yeah.
is very
Yeah,
cool.
it's
cool.
really, really good.
Not on damage, not on anything.
I have to say, you saying worms.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I have not seen in forever is any new actual worms.
Worm?
Like when I started playing, worms were
Yeah.
the big stompy creatures.
Like crawl
Yeah, but I feel
worms,
like you
scaled
get-
worms,
But you get big
harvester worms.
big creatures like that, like in places like Zendikar, and in places like that's where you're gonna. I'm just saying.
This next one is a really, really cool card. There's we talked last week about some of the mutate ones. Lots of them are menace mutate ones.
Madache.
Yeah, but this Labyrinth Raptor is black-red for a Nightmare Dinosaur, which is such a cool card type.
Yeah.
2/2 with Menace. When a creature you control with Menace becomes blocked, defending player sacks a creature blocking it. That's
really,
awesome.
really
That's
cool.
gonna go on my new Nicol Bolas deck.
And then
it's mean.
It has, I guess, Menace breathing. Other creatures you control with Menace get 1/0 till end of turn for a black and a red.
Yeah. So, which is really I think it's a great card.
Yeah.
I think this one, we will see.
That makes it really well. This is also a cool standard card. This one can be standard
This
playable.
one's definitely standard playable in my opinion. But for EDH, I think this is a great card.
Well, this is aggro. This is really, really aggro. Like you have to block it with 2 creatures, and if you do block it, you have to sack one of the creatures blocking. That's strong. That's really strong.
And then you're in red as well, and red has a lot of menace cards or things that give menace. Like
black.
even Angrath, like the Planeswalker from Word
Yep.
Spark, that gives all your creatures menace. You have silly cards like Goblin War Drums, things like that give all your creatures menace. And menace is really, really annoying in EDH. Holy
Yes.
smokes! It's so the worst part is
Creatures matter so much in so many EDH decks. So having to block with 2 sucks, and having to with this having to sack your creatures. I'd rather take the damage.
Yeah.
The crazier part is you can give your creatures menace, and if you give them first strike as well,
Yeah.
then your creature is basically indestructible during combat. Okay, because the moment they block a creature with 2 creatures, they have to sack one, and the other one's most likely not strong enough to kill off your creature. So if you give it first strike, whoop-de-doo.
Unless you have that angel that stops you from having to sacrifice stuff from abilities.
That's
but
fine.
still.
That's the only thing.
So I give my creature infect with first strike. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna lower yours.
Well, but
or wither.
the thing is, there's gonna be workarounds for every individual card, but this
Yeah.
is just like I said, this is a really good aggro card.
Overall.
It is.
Yeah.
It is for
Be
2 mana.
aggressive. Put this in Rakdos. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's made for.
Yeah.
Rakdos
Ooh.
colors.
The next one, really cool human soldier, Lava Brink Venturer. As it enters, you choose odd or even. Again, 0 is even. It's a 3/3 human soldier at 3 mana, and it has protection from CMC of odd or even, whatever you choose.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's
That's
really,
just
really
a
interesting.
solid card.
Yeah.
I've seen
Another-
that they've been doing a lot with that.
Did you not see this one before?
No.
Another cat nightmare, Luros of the Dream Den.
Wow.
Companion once
But
again.
it's black. How odd.
Yeah.
Well, it's one.
Well,
white,
it's
black,
also
white,
a
black.
I
nightmare.
Yeah.
know, but still odd.
It is odd. It is 1 colorless and then the hybrid Orzhov. Thank you, Hope. It has companion. Each permanent in your starting deck has CMC 2 or less. So this is for the much forgotten tiny leaders thing. This is a really, really cool tiny leaders commander.
Yeah.
But it's lifelink 3/2. During each of your turns, you can cast one permanent of the spell with one permanent spell with CMC 2 or less from your graveyard. So it brings a Muldrotha-esque effect to
A little baby boy.
not Muldrotha colors.
Oh, I find it's funny because it has a little baby in the artwork too.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
All I see is the little yellow eyes.
Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, oh my girl.
My boy Lutri, can't wait to put this in a commander deck.
Oh boy.
They made a new cool. There's another thing.
Mythos stuff.
Yeah, a
the
mythos cycle.
I like this.
They look like cave drawings.
Well,
Yeah,
they're like,
that's
they're
what
like
they're- yeah.
cards that are lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're in-game lore. They're very meta.
All
if I can be
right, Sherman,
real.
you take us through the whole mythos
Okay,
cycle.
so Mythos of Borokos.
Brokos.
2 green. Okay, sorcery speed. If blue and a black was spent to cast a spell, search your library for a card, put that card into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Okay, and then you return up to 2 permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand.
So it's essentially like a tutor for 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A really, really cool tutor.
If you
Well, a tutor and a recover.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you spend blue, black, green,
Madrotha once again.
Yep.
yeah,
So
nasty
silly.
boys.
I like this card. You can do a lot of stuff with this card.
I think this is a really, really cool card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these mythos cards are going to have places in a lot of commander decks.
Yeah. The next one is Mythos of Illuna. 2 blue, okay, sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target permanent. If green and red and a green was spent to cast a spell, instead, create a token that's a copy of that permanent, except the token has, when this permanent enters the battlefield, if it's a creature, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control.
In teamer colors. So if you spend red, green, blue in my Eldrazi deck,
Yeah.
that is red, green, blue.
Yeah. Well, so Riku is such a cool
fun
commander. Like, Riku's really, really fun for a lot of people because Riku copies instants and sorceries,
Yeah.
and he lets you make tokens of creatures.
Yeah.
So he wants
Oh,
lots
yeah,
of things
Riku.
that do that.
Yeah, it'll make a lot.
Yeah,
It'd be
this.
great in Riku.
But not only that is, if an opponent has something annoying,
Yeah.
this is another really good thing to also give it to yourself. You can get the group hug players thing. You can get the extra land you need. You can make any permanent you want. So you can take a planeswalker. You can, you get your own version of any permanent at 4 mana. That's really good.
Daniel, making enchantments cost 2 more to play.
4 more.
I like the fact that you can target lands with this.
Yep.
So, and like that makes a huge difference. Like if Daniel, you had Dark Depth,
Yep.
right? I copy that. There's no enter the battlefield trigger, so I don't put any counters on it. Off the bat, it goes away. You get your.
Well, no. This would. This is when this permanent enters, so it would still enter as that. Like you'd make a copy,
so.
But what I'm seeing is that they're letting me, with the cards in this set, make a 5th Field of the Dead.
Stop. Don't be this way.
I need more Field of the Dead.
Don't be this way.
You've already killed me before with a 2020.
3 Field of the Dead isn't enough Field of the Dead.
Ugh, okay. Next one is Mythos of Nethroi. So, 2 in a black. This one's an instant instead. Okay, destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature, or if green and a white was spent to cast the spell. So,
Okay, so it's either you could destroy a creature for 3, or you can destroy.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
this one's worded confusing.
It's worded really weird.
Oh, okay. Target non-land permanent if it's a creature, or you can destroy any non-land permanent.
Oh, okay,
If
yeah.
you
Yeah.
cast, if you spend white, green, and black.
Mythos of Snapdax. Read this bad boy.
Oh,
I love
I was
Snapdax.
looking at this one. I was like, it caught my attention, and it is fantastic.
This is a really good one.
So, it's a 2 white sorcery speed. All right. Each player chooses an artifact, creature, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control. They sacrifice the rest.
Balance.
It's one sack,
Balance
the rest.
says what?
Yeah. If black and a red was spent to cast a spell, you choose permanents for each player instead. This
Hallelujah.
really, really crazy.
I'll let you keep all your little weak things and everything else.
So number one, this is Mutate makes like a neat take on a Voltron commander because it's again it's like auras with an extra step. But if you're playing this, you're still going to keep your huge thing, and then you just sack everything else that like you just choose the worst things that they have.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's an interesting card. It's really, really strong. I can see this, like, anyone that's playing Mardu.
Like, it's 4 cost, right? Like, that's
Which
wild.
is nothing. Okay, 2 white, a red, and a black.
And sorry, it's destroy?
no, sacrifice.
Oh.
They sacrifice.
So you get around
God.
indestructible.
It's also choose. So you're not targeting.
Yeah.
This gets around Shroud as well.
Yeah.
So
Choose does not target.
No,
Very
it does
interesting.
not.
Well,
Yeah.
so at first, if you don't pay with the other colors, they choose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when you do,
pay,
you
then
get to choose.
You get to
You
Yeah.
choose exactly,
Doing-
but you're
yeah,
not
and-
you're not inconvenienced
Target,
by
yeah.
Well,
Shroud.
and
It's
having
not
to get
target. Yeah.
1 black, 1 red, and
Well-
2 white in Mardu is not hard. You
Not-
have all your colors because you
The-
need them.
Considering as well that you're in white and everyone's playing Smothering Tithe right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You
Get rid
have
of
the
all
colors.
of Brian's
difference.
treasure tokens.
Yeah, it makes no difference.
I did not hear the last couple seconds.
Brian's brain shut off.
Yep.
The last one of the cycles is Mythos of Vadrock. It's
Vadrock.
2 red. It deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures or planeswalkers.
Whatever.
If white and blue was spent to cast it until your next turn, those permanents can't attack or block, and they can't activate their abilities.
Not being able to activate abilities is wild.
Very, very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this card is interesting.
I feel like this for me is a game ender.
Well, it's possibly a game ender, but it's also a planeswalker stopper. If something's in alt range, you at least buy the table one more turn to deal with
Yeah.
it.
True. Very true.
Because they can't activate abilities, and you're dealing damage to it. Pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, and like you can divide it. So if someone's playing
Well, and you're doing
Super
damage
Friends.
too, so you can take it away from the.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like if someone's playing Super Friends and they have 5 planeswalkers, you just divide 1 damage
Bing,
to
bing,
each
bing, bing.
one, and then they can't activate them at all.
Yeah. Which is
Right.
a good option.
Yeah. Oh, let's look at this one.
Obosh the Prey Piercer.
That sounds nasty. Ooh, it's in colors I like.
A Hellion Horror.
Yeah. Oh, love that. So it's 3 and split mana of either black or red.
Rakdos.
Rakdos. It's one of the companion cards if you are interested in that. So it's your starting deck contains only cards with odd converted mana cost and land. It's a 3/5, and then if sources you control with an odd CMC would deal damage to a permanent or a player, it deals double that damage instead.
It's pretty cool, right?
I hadn't read it. That's awesome. I'm a big fan of that. Oh wait, what? That's very interesting.
Which one? The next one?
No, just very interesting. I just like that card.
What one?
Yeah.
Obosh or
I'm
the
a
next?
Obosh is really interesting. I'll admit. I don't know if I would play it. Like I probably would. Let's face it. I would. I would probably.
I would, but not as a companion. I just put it in my 99.
I just put it. I don't care about the companion thing. I'm just gonna put these cards into my 99.
Yeah.
I really don't care about the companion at the point
Same.
in time. Because like with companion, it feels like they're trying to at this point in time is trying to force people to be janky. Like I already make my own jank. I really don't care.
Yeah, well, that's
You don't
exactly what
need
I was
help.
saying. Yeah, we already build our own weird decks. We don't
Yeah.
need weirder things.
Like I just finished building and posting one of my newest jank decks yesterday. So
What jank is that?
it's for mono white for Heliod Suncrowned, where every single it's artist singleton EDH.
Oh, so every single card is a different artist?
Yeah, it took me so long to upload.
That's pretty cool.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hope loves the next card. Finish.
Okay, yeah. The only thing I didn't do in there, because like everything's based on life game, but I didn't put in the Walking Ballista or the Aether Flux Reservoir.
I was gonna say, I know, as soon as you said Heliod Suncrown, I'm like, oh, and then I was like, you know what? It's Sherman.
It's me.
He didn't put the Walking Ballista in.
Goodness, no, I didn't put that in. It's me.
He has them.
I have them.
He would.
I wouldn't.
But he would never.
No.
He might. It
So-
depends on how he feels that day.
Yeah, it's neat.
Sherman's having a bad day and he wants to come ruin somebody else's day, like a real butt.
Let me rotate out 2 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just put in the other ones, instant win. Yeah, that's boring.
They put a ton of cards in this set to really also make Snapdacks happen. They really, really want that card
Stop
to be
trying to make Snapdacks happen. It's not going to happen.
Oh no, it's gonna happen. It's dope.
It's gonna.
So this one is Offspring's
Daniel hasn't seen
Revenge.
Mean Girls. It's
Offspring's
2 in Mardu. And we love, it's an enchantment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile target red, white, or black creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 1/1. It gains haste until your next turn. That's very
awesome.
It's really interesting.
Master of Cruelty says what?
Yeah. Really
Oh, yeah.
interesting card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Master of Cruelties. That's one of my
That's
favorites.
disgusting. Just like all these big creatures that just have like the worst ability. Well, when I say worst abilities, I hate being on the opposite end of it.
Well, these will still ETB.
Yeah.
You can ETB from the graveyard with this, which is super
Yeah.
cool. Oh, boohoo, it's a 1/1.
Yeah.
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 That's why I was like, 1/1.
Yeah, but if you're
But then
looking
I'm
for
just like,
ability,
the ability.
Yeah, if you're looking
Yeah.
for the ATB, that's pretty
like if I
I will exile Phage.
yeah, and lose.
Lose.
But like if you do care,
Nobody kills me but me.
yeah. If you do care about the fact that it's a 1/1, just play God Pharaoh's gift, was it? Or the one where it's like 7 mana cost for artifact where
The statue?
No, like you exile a target creature card from your graveyard and it becomes a 4/4 because like you
Yeah.
basically embalm it or whatever, right? So, but like this is better. But if you care that it's like a 1/1 and you want to be stronger, just put it in that one instead. So, but anyways, the next one.
Oh my
is,
god, no, I have to read the.
Okay,
I
read it,
need to read
read
the
it.
flavor text. It's so cute. All they found in the hunter's camp were tiny paw prints and a lot of blood. I love it. I love it so much. I don't think I've ever loved anything more than I love
New
this little
Atla
baby.
Palani staple Atlanta Panini says what?
2 red, green for a dinosaur beast. That's a
Quartz
6/6.
Crasher.
Okay. Yeah, Quartz Wood Crasher. Trample. Whenever one or more creatures you control with trample deals combat damage to a player, create an XX green dinosaur beast creature token with trample, where X is the amount of damage those creatures dealt to that player.
Hope and Brian are celebrating visibly.
Trample, man. Oh.
We're both dinosaur friends.
Look at that flow off the back. He got some groovy hair going on. Right? Those
Right?
horns.
They're horns, but he's got that
Both.
sweet flow though.
It's a good card.
It is Rogrin Triome. It's
That
the
one's so
Island Mountain
pretty.
Plains. Very
I like
pretty.
that.
And wait till ooh.
Oh my god, it's like crystalline. I really like it. It's really pretty.
Oh, here's a fun one.
Oh yeah, Ruinous Ultimatum is
Ultimatum.
I would say the worst.
These Mardu colors are just like meant to make your friends not like you. This
Yeah, they're
whole
just
thing.
like, all right,
the
we get it.
sacrifice one. I get it. The Ruinous Ultimatum.
They're like, okay, we get it. You want Mardu support. We heard you.
Destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control.
That's just so mean.
Again,
That's super mean.
I think that's.
That's
I don't like cards that only hit people. This is the same cost as a Cyclonic Rift.
yeah.
It's a
harder casting cost too.
Yes, it is a sorcery. Again, I have
Yeah.
said if Cyclonic Rift was a sorcery, I'd be more okay with it. But
Like, listen.
but this is still pretty brutal.
Pretty
and-
The fact that this destroys instead of putting it back in your hand, because like Cyclonic Rift at least.
But at
lets
least
you-
it's destroy instead of sack or exile.
Hope.
I still don't like it.
Read this flavor text.
Strike those abominations down. Let their names rot with their remains.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty heavy metal.
Savai Triome, Mountain Plain Swamp. Love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
That one was kind of... Go back up again. Nah.
The art.
That one looks like
Lackluster.
it looks like angry Pride Rock.
I love it.
I
Symbol.
like this one. Sea Dasher octopuses. I love octopuses. They're like my spirit animal at this point in time. Good lord. Okay, so it's a
What?
1 blue. Okay, creature octopus. Yay! 2/2. Mutate 1 in a blue. Flash. Okay, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Yes.
That's
yes.
pretty dope.
It's great card. Definitely standard playable. I can see people playing this in EDH just for the fact that you flash it in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. For 2 mana, you flash it, you get a draw a card.
You
when
get a
deal
blocker,
combat damage.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
whenever it deals combat damage, draw. Great card.
We love that.
And it's an octopus.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, it's
comic
all
art.
comic art is really tight.
Next one.
It's my nightmare.
Sharknado.
It's
Shark
terrifying.
Typhoon.
Shark
They couldn't.
Typhoon.
They just.
to avoid copyright.
I was gonna say they just couldn't get the rights to Sharknado.
Shark Typhoon is a 5 and a blue enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that spell's converted
CMC.
mana cost. Okay, and it has cycle X1 in a blue. Okay, when you cycle the Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying.
Which is pretty dope because then you get this like flying shark and you also get the draw if you
I'm just
cycle
saying.
it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be furious when somebody force of wills me and then attacks me with a 5/5 flying shark the next turn to add insult to injury.
I personally think this is a great card.
Super cool card.
Yeah, it's very, very flexible.
Well, a lot of Izzet decks are really, really not creature intensive because you're trying to pack as many spells
Instants,
into it, right?
Yeah.
So this is even in that Riel or whatever it is, the Everwise
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Where you can pay that. Like this is creating you extra tokens. This is super at home in Talrand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where whenever you cast it. So a Mirage Mirror is really good. Estrad's Invocation on this, Mirror Maid, Copy Enchantment, any of those. So I'm sitting there and I'm, again, Force of Will, and you make 20 flying shark damage in one Force of Will to just also ruin someone's play.
That's just
Pretty dope.
I'll Cyclonic Rift, not today. Or you'll Cyclonic Rift and make 7/7 flying sharks and just make me leave.
Yeah.
Which make me go home.
Oh.
Put the boy down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make me have a heart attack at the magic table.
Oh, this next one's cool.
Yeah.
Elemental Cat. There's a lot of cats in this set.
Skycast Sovereign for a white and a blue. Elemental Cat, 1/1, flying. It gets a +1/+1 for each other creature you control with flying. And for 2 white and a blue, create a 1/1 white cat bird creature token with flying.
Bird.
Honestly, a great Azorius mana sink. This is
It is.
awesome. This is
It
super, super good in Taigam.
Can I also make a note that what this means that we're getting catbird tokens in
Yeah.
this set?
Yeah.
I want it so bad.
Just do like a whole artwork theme where they're all catbirds,
I love them.
But this is a really interesting card. I think it's going to be it's a pretty strong card. Like even though it's 2 mana for a 1/1 flying,
Yeah.
it's just the fact that it gets +1/+1 for each other flying.
There's especially in those colors, you've got spirits, you've got birds, you've got
Well, imagine putting this in a
you've got
Leela.
sharks,
Yep.
you've got fairies, you've
fairies.
you've got
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah. This
all-
does go in Alila
yeah,
really,
all
really
of
well.
all
Yeah.
of these colors
And mana sinks in Alila when you're
Yeah.
sitting there not wasting your counterspell mana.
Valuable.
That's great.
all of these cards have these colors have a lot of synergy that will make this card super strong.
Shabraz says, what?
Do you need a jar for that too?
Yeah, that's right. I'm so excited for
I
those
know.
partner commanders.
I know.
I might buy 2 full sets of the commander decks just to rip them apart into other commander decks. There's so many that I just need. And Shabraz the Sky Shark is his own deck for sure.
Oh boy. Okay.
Real quick, I just love the flavor text on it of the bounty on its head is as old as Skysail, but no one has ever tried to collect.
So nice.
Who would want to?
It's cute.
This is a cool one too. Slitherwisp, 1 blue, black, flash, elemental nightmare, 3/2. Whenever you cast another spell that has flash, draw a card and each opponent loses a life.
That's very
That's
cool.
really
In Dimir
interesting.
colors, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Having that in Commander, where imagine
Well-
someone has Videlkin Ikoria and they're just flashing everything.
Or Leyline of Anticipation, yep.
Yeah, it's I lose a life, I lose a life, I lose a life.
Very
love the song.
cool card. I'm very, very excited to see this as a foil card,
Yeah.
the Song of Creation.
Yeah,
This
so
one
it's,
is really cool.
it's 1 in Temur, so
that's what I
1
was just reading.
green, blue,
Yeah.
and red. So you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Already dope. Whenever you cast a spell, draw 2. Dope. And at the beginning of your end step, discard your hand. So that's kind of interesting.
I'm very excited to see Timur Storm.
Yeah.
A whole lot of, you're going to see lots of, what's the copy spell? It's an enchantment. I can't think of it. Is it enchantment? Whenever you cast a spell, copy it for each other spell. What's the one I'm thinking?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what it's
It's
called.
the one with lightning storm.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I can't think of the.
I can't remember it right now, but we know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyways.
Pretty interesting.
But yeah, so, well, just the ability to keep copying, and keep going. And then at the beginning of your end step, sure, you discard your hand, but again, still pretty cool.
Yeah, when you're casting a spell, you draw 2 cards. So, like, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of low casting cost spells. Like, whoop-de-doo, you just go through like crazy, right?
Oh, well, Brainstorm, draw 2 cards.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, draw 2, draw 2.
yeah. Ooh.
Draw 2, draw
Blow
3.
up your own
And then
channel
discard
for
it
turn.
if you can discard it to your
Well, or
library.
if you can just end the turn if you have something like a Sundial of the Infinite.
On the next card, I am really, really excited for.
Me too.
The Uzalith, which is only a single colorless mana for a legendary artifact.
Which we
Whenever a
love.
creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on the Uzalith. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if the Uzalith has counters on it, you may move all counters from the Uzalith onto target creature.
It's Thousand Year
Atraxa
Storm,
says,
I'm
what?
sorry.
Well, like, you know what? I would put this in my Madrofa deck.
Oh, yeah.
And I would put in things like, because my Madrofa deck already has things like the Endless and was it Ugin's Conjurer?
Yep.
You know, where they have the +1/+1s, and I just have them where I can sack them or just bring it back constantly and just make them bigger every single time I bring them back.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, this is super good in Hydras too. Corvold.
Yeah. Hydras, I didn't even consider. That's
Yeah.
great. Stuff with Devour also.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
Throwmock.
Yeah.
When I fling it.
right?
Yeah.
Throwmuck, even putting more counters on what's it called? If you can, putting more counters on something like what is that creature?
Which
Where's
one?
my head at?
I don't know. Which
Oh,
one's
on Michaeloth. So the
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very big boy.
Saprolings,
Very
yeah.
big boy. Like that's dope.
That's a super, super good card,
There's
especially
a-
at 1.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
utility with that card.
This
So
next
what?
one made my jaw drop. Titan's Nest. It is 1 black, green, blue, and again, self-mill colors, soul tie for the win. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library, you can put it into your graveyard. In Muldrotha,
Draw
this is
2.
a draw. This is just a draw card, which is awesome. But exile a card from your graveyard, add a colorless. You can spend it only to cast mana with X in its CMC.
Without.
Without X, sorry, yes. So it's just you can exile things for colorless mana in your graveyard. So the self-mill, like in a Mimeoplasm, you can sit there and exile 10 cards from your graveyard to cast like Kozilek.
No, it's only for colored spells.
Oh, colored spells. Okay, so you can't Eldrazi Titans.
No.
Whew, hallelujah.
Yeah,
But
Hellur
still a really good card.
is
still a
very-
really good card.
Yeah, still very cool.
I think we talked about Umori last
Yeah,
time.
we
but
did.
still,
We did.
I'll still mention them quickly. It's the 2 Golgari. Each non-land shares a deck type, and spells you cast the chosen type are 1 less.
Yeah.
Cool card. Unpredictable Cyclone.
Oh, this one's interesting. So
Didn't
3
know
red.
cyclones were predictable.
For a 3 red enchantment, okay, if a cycling ability of another non-land card would cause you to draw a card, instead, exile that card from the top of your library until you exile a card that shares a card type with the exiled card or cycled card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put that exiled card that weren't cast this way onto the bottom of your library in a random order, and it has Cycle 2.
Super cool card.
If this isn't in the cycling deck,
Oh, it's not. A lot of these are not in the deck. It might be. I'm saying that without looking at the deck list. I said it confidently. It sounded like I knew.
super confidently. I'm like, is this in the deck? And you're like, nope.
Actually, I
is.
haven't looked.
But you know what? I believed you. I straight up believed you, my dude.
Thank you. I'm glad.
100%.
It's an interesting card, I have to
trust.
admit. So, but the next one, did we talk about? I'm more certain we talked about last time. Voracious
Yeah.
Great Shark.
Yep.
I hate it.
But that next card,
Oh yeah, Whirlwind of Thought. 1 blue, one colorless, blue, red, white.
Hang on 1 second. It's not in the deck.
All right.
Okay.
Confirmed.
Okay. For enchantment, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card.
Yeah. And it's
You're-
just Narset.
You're in the Captain America colors, okay? Like, there's so many, like, just the fact that you can counter something and draw a card to replace the counter
Well,
spell.
this again,
hammer it, I
this
deal
goes
damage.
immediately into the
I
Elisha
protect.
deck where I'm trying to storm off to get to my Aetherflux. Like, this is just awesome.
I pay 1 white, I gain 3 life, I draw a card. I counter that spell, I draw a card. I bolt your birds, I draw a card.
Yeah, it's like every single non-creature spell you have is a cantrip now.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
So good.
Annoying.
Yorion the Sky Nomad, 3, and then hybrid Azorius. So white, blue, whatever.
This one's interesting because this one is the opposite of like Lutri in automatic inclusion.
Your your starting deck contains at least 20 cards more than the minimum deck size, so you cannot companion this in Commander.
Yeah.
But it has flying for 5 when it enters. Exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control.
Bounce.
Return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. So a super, super good... anything that's running like your ETB style for Golos, for anything that runs Brago. If you can exile a card, you can bounce everything with it. Like, it's a really, really cool card. But... it does make you wait till the end step, so at least you can't like sit there and continuously Deadeye Navigator this in and out of play and ETB your whole field thousands of times.
Yeah. But you could also do it you could play it at least in your post-combat main phase, so you could get 2 off.
Or at the end of someone else's turn to get your... There's a lot of really cool things. Another one of the Triomes, the Zagoth Triome.
Beautiful.
Swamp Forest Island, the one that is going in every Muldrotha deck to
no
exist.
matter what.
It's stunning.
It's really,
also.
really nice.
That one looks really nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Both of
They're
them
so
look really
vibrant, you know. That's why
This one's a really, really cool card,
that
too.
little fox, his little
Last
friend.
one.
Zerda the Dawnwaker.
It's a little happy boy.
One hybrid Boros. So,
Boros.
Boros.
It's also not a soldier. I'm complaining.
It's an elemental fox. How often do we get foxes? Okay,
Never.
It's really cute. It's 3/3 companion. Each permanent card in your starting deck has an activation ability or activated ability.
Which is
That's
very
interesting.
cool.
Yeah. Okay. Abilities you activate that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less to activate. This effect cannot reduce the mana in the that cost to less than 1 mana, and it has 1 in attack. Target creature can't block this turn.
That's
It's very
cool.
Training Grounds-esque. I like it a lot.
I think this card is fantastic.
This would be a cool jank deck to build. This is the first companion thing that I'm like, all right, if you build this one, you can have this one.
Yeah.
It would be a very, very cool one. It's also by my favorite Magic artist, which is awesome.
Who's
Yeah.
that?
Jesper Eising.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty dope. His artwork is wild.
This one is like I do like this card a lot because it's very how can I say it's like variety, you know. But at the same time, like I don't care about the companion. I would probably just play this as a commander and not into the 9/9. I would actually probably make an EDH deck out of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I feel
especially like considering like white and red have a lot of creatures that require an activated ability where you do have to pay for it. So yeah, like I think it's fantastic.
I want to touch on just a few last things really quickly. Number 1 are the crystals. They're uncommons in the set.
Yeah, they're mana rocks.
Yeah, they have cycling. They're 3. They come in untapped and can immediately tap for one of the colors you need. So a great color fix with cycling late game, which makes it so it's not a dead draw. They're great cards.
Yeah.
And then there's one that I'm looking for that is specifically the Naturalize upgrade.
Oh, that one, man, that's so good. Let me try to find it.
Is it mono green?
Yeah, it's a naturalize, so it's 1 in a green. Okay, it does the same thing as naturalize. You can destroy a target artifact or enchantment, but it has cycling too.
Oh, also there's also while we talk about that, we did the set on the unset where they printed the sorcery or the instant that had trample. They printed the same thing in this set, the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's a red card that if it deals damage that would kill the creature, it tramples over.
Which is so awesome. Still, no, that's not it.
Humble Naturalist is also a really, really cool card for this set. It's 2 taps for 1 mana of any color spent for only creature spells, but a 1/3 human druid at 2 mana is pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's got really cool, weird artwork.
Which I'm always about. Y'all know how I feel about that.
There's so much cool artwork in this one. Okay, so the card that we're talking about is Wilt. Okay, 1 in a green instant, destroy target, artifact or enchantment, and a cycle 2. So it's just a better naturalize. And like.
Well, it just gives you a second naturalize also.
Well, it gives you a second natural life, but at the same time, like the fact that it's a common too is very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's I like the fact that you have these cards that they basically reprint, but they make an extra ability, so it's better.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that we need to look at from time to time, especially in EDH. There's cards that you have that people are like, oh, this is a staple, and then you're like, no, it shouldn't be a staple because there's a card that does the exact same thing, but it's
better.
Well, this just replaces naturalize. You can keep naturalize in and have a second one, but also like just the ability with cycling, it is a strict upgrade to that card.
Yeah. But it's like we have to, like I have this conversation constantly with people, okay? On my Instagram post, okay, I have the fact that you have cancel, where it's played more in EDH, and cancel is just a basic counter spell, 1 blue, instant, you counter target creature or spell. But that cancel was played more than this other card called Void Shatter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Void Shatter is 1 blue.
Exact same
instant.
mana cost.
It has the void, so it has no colors, okay? And it counters target spell. And if that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it in the owner's graveyard.
It's strictly an upgrade to cancel.
Yeah, it's an upgrade. It's a uncommon, so it's going to cost a little bit more, but at the same time, it's going to be like, what, 10 cents more?
Yeah.
Who cares? Play Void. If you're playing cancel, play Void Shatter instead. Okay? And Wilt is just another example of that fact that people need to look at other cards and be like, okay, why is this card played? Is there a better card out there? And you just have to spend time to look for these cards. That's all I have to say about that. But anyways.
But yeah, so right before we close this out, let's talk about the obvious giant elephant in the room, which is this set's power spike.
Yeah.
So strong.
It's huge.
There's no way to not mention it quickly. Like, this set has significantly more power in it than anything we've seen in a long time. Number one, just those lands are awesome. There's way more value in the box for those lands alone because they are going to be played by commander players. But there's something for so many commander decks in this.
Yep.
There's great mana rocks. There's like we just said, the Wilt is the flat upgrade. There's cycling support. There's tons of cards with cycling,
just as the support alone, if I can get the words out, for so many different color families.
Well, you look at Zexama, where you can now bring Hydras to 3 colors. It's just nuts. That's crazy. You look at like even the commander options and stuff. Just their ability to go on and talk about just go on and continuously mutate and do that stuff. Like, it's new mechanics that are just strong. So many triggered abilities, so many things. Like, there's a lot of really, really cool cards in this set. Like, there's even the Yidris, the Writhing Storm, or Yiris. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you create a 1/1, a card except for their first card, you create a 1/1 green snake. That's awesome. That's just a great card. All of these things are just, the Zaxara is awesome. These partner cards are awesome. Like, there's so many. The free cast where you can, creatures you control are indestructible if you control your commander for free. Like, the free counter target non-creature spell. There's a huge power spike in this. Like, if you're able to afford it right now, there's no reason to not upgrade significantly your decks with cards from this. Like, obviously, don't do it if you can't afford it, if money's tight, but at the same time, wow. Just wow to what they're doing. Like, Jace Architect of...
Jace.
No, it's Jace Architect of Thought.
I can't see from
They
here.
just reprinted it. It's just in one of the commander decks. As like these commanders
The stuff that they just reprinted just cuz is...
It's crazy. Like,
What?
I can barely afford this set and I'm buying it. Like, it's just so
even
strong.
the one we talked about last episode, where when you choose a creature type, and then when your creatures enter, you get a copy of it with haste. Just silly. There's just so many cards in this that are awesome. The last thing, I finally found what I was looking for. These are the ones that I'm the most excited for, and it's Trin Champion of Freedom, and the partner card Sylvar Devourer of the Free. These are 2 of the best artworks I've ever seen. They are going to be probably my new pet commander decks that I'm going to try, work, and tune. Trin is at the beginning of your end step. If you attack this turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier. And then Silva is sacrifice a human, put a 1/1 counter on Sylvar, Devour the Free. It gains indestructible till the end of the turn. They are such
That's
cool,
so-
weird partners. It generates, like, the Trin generates the tokens to feed your huge, indestructible other guy. Like, it's just awesome. And let's also just talk about the fact that, devoid of its partner, Trin is an amazing soldier alone. It's a 4-cost 3/3 that every time you end step, if you attack, you create a 1/1 white human soldier. That's a great soldier commander on its own.
It's a great addition to a soldier deck, not even as a commander.
Yeah, it's just
Slot it in. That's
just
a
an
good
awesome card. This is, out of pretty much everything in the set so far, these are my favorite. Even more than the Triome lands, which I am so excited for. I'm absolutely in love with this. And I don't know if everyone else here has a favorite card from the set, but I want everyone to know mine.
I don't know what my favorite card is, but like I have to say that overall, this, like, the power creep is crazy. Like the power level of this set is really insane. Especially for EDH players. Like, I'm interested in seeing how standard plays for this, just because I know we're on EDH, but I do like watching those like tournaments and everything online. But for EDH, like, the amount of stuff that you can do with this set, like we've all mentioned, there's so much support for whatever you do. If you do cycling, there's support for that. If you need mana fixing, there's support for that. Like, if you do play Voltron, there's tons of support for that.
I'm really excited to see how, like, once we're able to go back to our LGSs, how everybody takes this set and
Yeah. Well, I'm probably, let's schedule it for a full month after its tabletop release to talk about its impact and what we're seeing when we're playing. Because the other thing is, these C20 decks look like they are out of the box, and I could be wrong. I haven't played them. I haven't seen them go yet, but just with what's in them,
out of the box.
they look probably, I would say, around a 6 or 7 out of the box. Like, they look like you could pick them up, sit down at a normal EDH table, and have a good time without upgrading them.
Yeah.
And upgrading them, like, you know, if you try and focus any of these decks on any of the commander options in them, it's nuts. I also really hope these cards are foil.
Well,
And then I also hope that I can find them in the non-foil if they are foil in the collector's boosters.
Most likely.
The collector's boosters are just going to break my budget.
Oh, man.
But there's so many cool cards.
So many.
There's a lot.
But
to that end, guys, let us know.
But yeah, that's
kinda...
we've really rambled a long time.
Yeah.
Those are just the rares and wilt.
Yeah, the rares, wilt, and the rocks. So let us know what you think. Do you personally have a favorite card in the set so far, or even from the commander decks? Let us know what your plans are to update your decks. If you have any interest in getting wild with that classification, hit me up. I want to know.
Well, and on tabletop release, we will for sure be talking about these Commander 20 decks. Like, there's going to be maybe we'll do the effect on EDH 5 episodes after release so that we can talk.
We'll see.
And if you don't want to try lands, contact us. We'll totally buy them.
I'll take them off your hands for $1 a piece. Don't you worry about that, my friend.
I will commit to buying any number of them for $1 a piece.
Right.
Yeah,
He's a madman.
Anyways,
thank you guys so much for listening.
Next week.
Yeah, see you later.
Oh, and check us out on Instagram. You can subscribe and download everywhere. Our episodes are available on our website at www.intothe99.com. We started streaming games on YouTube. It's Into the 99 podcast.
Yeah.
We have live streams of the games. Shoot us a message if you want to be involved in the games. Brian's going to get it all set up so that everyone's in there. I think Brian has the schedule for the Wednesday coming up. Who's that, Brian?
This Wednesday coming up, we're going to have Prime Speaker Florian come on and play with us.
And who else?
We also have either 2 weeks or 3 weeks we're going to be having...
No, who else is in that Wednesday game? Is it just Prime Speaker?
So it's going to be Prime Speaker, myself, Hope actually is going to be joining us, and our good friend George.
Yeah, who designed our logo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out George. Very good logo.
And he's going to be launching his website here shortly, Nerd Love.
Yeah, I love that. So give him some nerd love.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.